Well, welcome back to the channel. This takes me back about 4 or 5 years ago when we were still building on the house. And I recorded these a while back, but I never had a chance to publish them. So at least I just got too busy to actually edit them and put them together for YouTube. So here we are at the framing stage. This is upstairs, and we're as you can see, we're working on electrical. And I really enjoy electrical work. And I've done it on, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 houses before this. And I just enjoy the process because it is, it's logical, to say the least. And the path of electricity, especially in a house, all the way from the meter, to the outlet, is something that I understand. I think the most challenging part to the whole thing is just keeping up with code, because it changes all the time. So, but it's quite fun. I'm not saying I'm an expert; I still have lots to learn. But by the way, I'm just, as we're watching this time warp on the walls there, it's unique on the exterior walls because everything is horizontal between you can see this here on this picture right now. All this is horizontal and it's at a vertical, and so it's not like you can just go straight up and down because you've got horizontal members instead of vertical members. So it becomes a whole different thought pattern. And I guess if I could do it over again, what I would have done is actually put conduits in the cement, in the concrete foundation, and have them come up between each section that's in the floor. For the simple reason that you cannot bore through a structural member. And keep in mind, on a building like this, it's a pole barn, right? So the pole barn is, or the poles I should say, are vertical members, and you cannot go through there with electrical or plumbing or anything because they're structural. So you have to get really creative to go all the way up to the top and then come over and then all the way down to be able to kind of just loop around them. Anyway, we'll talk more about that when we get to that. I want to comment on one thing that is really a big time saver. You see this reel in the left-hand corner here, and you see 2 of them there. That is a great time saver because you don't have to worry about unspooling the spool, and it comes off of the reel perfect, and you don't have twists in the Romex. So that's really I picked that up at a sale, and I usually load it with 12.2 and 12.3, and it works just great. So I can just pick it and put it up, staple it up, and then cut off exactly what I need. It really works great. I highly recommend. They're a little pricey. I think they're $200 or $300, but really nice to have. Let me just comment a little bit about the gauge of wire. And this goes back to, I don't know, many years before, when I've seen people put in 12.2 or 14.2 and for different purposes in different rooms, and you usually have to buy two spools, and then of course you have to have 12.2 and 14.2, and it just gets really difficult. So what I decided to do is just to standardize on 12 gauge wire. So it's really simple: 12.2, 12.3, and I just love working with it, and and I've built many houses just on that standard, and I know that my circuits will never be overloaded on 14 gauge because they're on 12 gauge, which is great. So here what I'm doing is I'm putting in some ceiling boxes, and this is the first time that I haven't had to put in cans for electrical lighting, because we're using LED, these LED pucks that go up into the receptacle, and I love it so much because I don't have to mess around with these stupid cans, especially IC ones that have to be insulated and rated. And in this case, if you're looking at my ceiling, I've got 6 boards of insulation in that vaulted space, and I could only imagine if I had to cut out for those cans, those old style cans, and just the energy that would be wasted going, working around that space. So I'm very thankful that I didn't have to do that on this house, and super simple and to wire, and it's really easy to install those LED lights. Maybe we'll showcase that a little bit later in some of the later videos. What you see here is just some temporary lights that are up in the space, and one of my favorite tools, aside from electrical tools, is a Milwaukee headlamp. This is a Milwaukee rechargeable headlamp that's got the little replaceable batteries, and they work excellent. You can go for a couple hours on one, and then you can swap them. You charge the first set, and then you just keep going back and forth. There's nothing like having light where you need it. Anyway, I've used those over the years, and I still have the same one that I used to build the house, and I always use it. I always grab it. Very handy. Best $40-50 I've ever spent. And if you don't have one, I highly suggest that you get the Milwaukee rechargeable ones. Don't get the ones with alkaline batteries. You gotta spring for the lithium-ion ones. Okay, so here, a little break from the work way back then.
It's another beautiful day. And we have the puppy. Simba is what, 4 months old now?
5 months. No, I'm kidding, 4 months.
4 months. She loves to be off the leash. What happened?
My undies are falling.
Oh.
I did that part out. I just want to go along.
So here we are with the kids, and this is our little puppy at the time, Simba, and she is all just, she's so fun at that age. She still is fun. She's a little bit over 3 years now, but here she is just a few months old.
Simba. Simba.
This puppy, by the way, learned a very bad habit, and that was to beg for food. And I think the kids gave in. Maybe even I gave in. And even today, she still begs for food. Oh, it's terrible. So we try not to feed her. And but sometimes she'll sneak some. All right, here we are back at the job site here on the second floor. What you can see here is this is basically a U shape with what I'm working in right now is the girls' bedroom, which is essentially a 40-foot section minus the study space on the front. The rest of it is closet and I would would say about 27 feet of bedroom. And later on, you'll get to see what we did is actually make bunks and alongside the wall. We've really liked that, and it's all actually worked out really good as well. So so that's gone well, and this is all vaulted space. So we actually get that extra space because we didn't put in the drop ceiling. We insulated all the way up to the ridge, and we get to utilize the extra space in the rooms. Makes a big difference, and just to have that, as you go towards the center of the building, it's kind of hard to see here, but these are trusses that are in this configuration here. They're more scissor trusses that they vault to the middle. So I just wanted to also point out that in this electrical work, it does get monotonous after a time because you're doing the same thing over and over again, and you can really miss something pretty easily on making sure that three-way circuits are working, making sure by the way, I was just going to say you really have to double check your work, because I did get into a little bit of a problem afterwards, but I got it to be fixed. This is actually in the garage, and this is our garage bathroom. I just piped in the PEX plumbing there for the supply, and this was really exciting because we didn't have a bathroom functioning yet, and we were ready for it, and we were so excited when we put down the toilet, hooked up the water. By the way, this is a Kohler tall urinal here. Not a urinal, but I would say stool, toilet, whatever you want to call it. The flange, when you're working on top of concrete, always challenging because it doesn't fit in certain toilets. So you have to use spacers underneath your toilets on a concrete floor. It's not like you can concrete them out because that plumbing is set. So very, just words to the wise, make sure you pick your fixtures properly, and then when you go to install them, please understand that you'll have to have spacers to make it work, because they will not set on the concrete floor. By the way, if you have done this and maybe there's a better way that I just don't know about, please let me know. I'd love to hear after I've done now a couple of them, and would love to have done it a little bit differently. So almost getting done with this toilet, and then applying the water. Keep in mind this water system is all off grid, and so we have a full pump that's into a pressure tank, and that pump operates off of solar or off of 110 AC, and it has worked for years just flawlessly, and I'm just so pleased with it, because it's just worked great. So I think here I am, I'm about ready to put the water in and do the first flush. Pretty exciting, if I don't say so myself.